Hey everybody, welcome this week to the Shotgun Red Variety Show. This week is the history of Shotgun Red. Where did Shotgun Red come from? How did he end up on television? All those questions are going to be answered. I'm going to show you my scrapbook, my personal pictures, personal videos, all of it about Shotgun Red, starting with this interview that I did years ago. Here we go. Well, at Tom's Pet and Hobby in Brainerd, we walked in to look for some remote control radio airplane stuff, which I like to do. And these characters, there was about 2 or 3 of them were laying on the back shelf behind the counter. And I said, "What is that?" And he says, "Well, they're on sale for $50. He says, "Would you like to buy one?" They're just some little characters that his sister-in-law or somebody had made. And at that time, he looked a lot different. Red had a big flat hat on, looked like Huckleberry Finn, and a big red shirt with black buttons. And I said, "Well, I'll give you $40 for him." And he said, "All right." So I wrote him out a check for $40. I thought I could use him in the band in nightclubs and different shows we were doing to kind of introduce the guys in the band. I put a little cowboy hat on him, changed him to a western shirt and a little black vest, and right at that time we had won the 1981, 82, and 83 International Battle of the Bands for the state of Minnesota, 3 years running. Well, we came to the national finals in 1982, and Shotgun Red was our MC for our band. And a promotion lady seen our little character and took us down to Ralph Emery's morning show. And I said, "Well, when are we supposed to go on?" She said, "We're not. We're crashing the show."
You crashed Ralph Emery's morning show?
I wasn't aware of the fact that we were supposed to crash the show. This lady just took me down and said, "We're crashing the show." I said, "You mean like we don't have an invite?" And she says, "You get him out of that case. I didn't come down here at 4 o'clock in the morning to have you not get him out of that case." Well, ironically, that morning, Cub Scout pack number 35 or whatever, there was about 25 little Cub Scouts sitting there. Well, when I got Red out, these little kids went crazy. They were laughing and looking at him, and he was doing his little gyrations and looking around, and Ralph went right to a commercial, said, "We'll be right back with the show right after this word," and laid the mic down, and here he come.
Right for you.
Right for me. And I'm sitting there terrified. I'd never met Ralph. I hadn't, other than doing that local band on that television show up in Duluth, Minnesota. Here we are on his show, and he walks right over to Red, who's sitting next to me, and doesn't even look at me, and looks right at Red, and he's chomping on his cigar. He says, "How does that work?" Which I thought was kind of, you know, off in left field. Instead of saying, "Welcome to the show," or whatever, he just says, "How does that work?" Well, I never said anything. But Red looked at him and said,
"You know, I went to that same garage sale. I didn't think anybody'd buy that suit."
And Ralph's cigar come popping out of his mouth, and he says, "Killer, come over here. You got to see this little guy." And he fell in love with him right at that moment. And I think what the intrigue was to Ralph is Ralph is intimidating. And for once, somebody got Ralph, and it was this little 3-foot-high guy named Shotgun Red. And he loved it. There I was in Nashville, Tennessee. I crashed Ralph Emery's morning show, but I'm going to back up a little bit. I got to take you back to the very beginning when I started playing drums and had my own little band in northern Minnesota. I started out with the Larry Hall Trio. That's my brother in the middle. A kid named Eugene Brown played bass guitar, and yes, that's me. On the right, I played drums in that band. There I was on my Rogers drums. That drum kit got damaged in a crash that we had on the road, but I played drums for about 17 years back then. That's the first group I ever worked with, Judy Stone and the Country Pebbles with Fred Blocker. I was the drummer off to the left. You can't see me in the photo, but that was my very first professional gig. I was 16 years old. And I also played drums for the Tim Patterson Show featuring Linda Lou. Timmy Patterson on the right, Billy Joe Patterson on the left, Pretty Miss Linda Lou in the middle, and of course me on the drums in the back. Worked with a group called Joe Woods and the Woodsmen. Little Joe Woods, Pete Campbell, Mike Bricky, and that's me way over on the right standing up on that train. And again, I was still playing drums at the time. There I am up in the top right-hand corner. I worked with a guy named Joe Payne. He was kind of the Ray Price of the North. Him and Debbie Lynn, Virgil, and I can't remember the guy on guitar's name, but that was me in that band way back then. Well, I got tired of working for other people, so I started my own group. There I am. Steve Hall on the drums in the middle. That's Tim Johnson on the right. And I think it's Steve Osterman played bass guitar at that time. That was my very first band ever.
And then there was my second group. Joe Tucker on the right, he still lives in Michigan. Way over on the left is Donnie Matich, and that was Midnight Shift. It was a trio we had up in Minnesota. And then I formed a bigger band. There was Tim Johnson, Ernie Wren on steel guitar, Mark Peterson on lead guitar, and that's the band that won to go to the national finals. There we are at the airport, believe it or not, with the mayor of Brainerd and all the business people sending us off. That's my brother Larry clear to the left with the white cowboy hat, and next to him is my father with the blue hat. And we're heading to Nashville, Tennessee to compete at the Seagram 7 International Battle of the Bands. That's right, a 21-foot high Shotgun Red heading to Nashville, Tennessee. We're heading to a commercial break right now. We're going to be back with the Shotgun Red Variety Show, and we're going to tell you more about the history of Shotgun Red. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Shotgun Red Variety Show, where we're doing the history of Shotgun Red. Once we got in Nashville, Tennessee, man, I met all the stars. Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, there's Eddie Rabbit, Boxcar Willie, he loved Little Shotgun Red. And there's Jimmy C. Newman. I love when he'd go by me in the hallway. Hey, shoot gun, see you a while ago. He was from Louisiana. And there's the beautiful Janie Fricke. And I was backstage at the Opry all the time. There's Brother Oswald and, of course, the king of country music, Roy Acuff. He showed me his tattoo of a heart with a dagger through it, and I showed him my Shotgun Red tattoo. There's the Oak Ridge Boys at Nashville Now set. William Lee Golden, he loves Little Shotgun Red. Of course, that's that hot guitar picker from out in California, Dwight Yoakam. There I am with little Jimmy Dickens. He's one of my dearest friends. Of course, there's the great Ray Price. And there I am on the bus with Mel Tillis. We're sharing a beer, if you can believe that. There I am with Buck Owens. What a great voice. And, of course, there's June Carter Cash. Ricky Van Shelton, there's Gene Watson, Farron Young. There I am with Tammy Wynette and my friend Randy Hardy from up in Minnesota. And here's a very cherished picture to me. It's kind of, I'm going to take it from the right to the left, and listen to this. That's Waylon Jennings on the right. I'm the one standing next to him, the taller one, of course, little Jimmy Dickens. Neil Young, Farron Young, and if you'll look over Farron Young's shoulder, you can see Jim Hagen's in the mirror. It's really weird. He just stepped in the room and said, hey, you guys want to take a picture? And he snapped the shot, and there's a picture of him taking a picture. So it's really kind of cool. And there I was. Everybody asked me all the time, where were you when you were on Nashville Now with Ralph Emery? Well, that's kind of a ramp. You can see I slid down that ramp and went in a hole in the floor and hid under Ralph's desk, reached straight up over the top of my head, and that's how we did our television show. Then the producer of Nashville Now took me over to Hee Haw and introduced me to Sam Lavulla, the producer. They put me on the Hee Haw show. I got to meet everybody, Archie Campbell backstage, just everybody on the set. Then they took me over to the Grand Ole Opry and introduced me to those people, and I got a chance to perform on the Grand Ole Opry, everybody's dream. And there's Little Shotgun Red on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry. Then they said we're going to start a new thing because people are coming out with videos. Now, this was before CMT, GAC ever existed. Shotgun Red had the very first video program on any network, anywhere. It was on TNN, and it was called Country Clips. Everybody stopped by. I mean, everybody. Garth Brooks. There's Mel McDaniels. There's Gary Morris without his beard when he looked like a baby back then. That guy right there is Rosebud, they called him. Bobby Rose. He passed away, but he always claimed that he was Shotgun Red's bodyguard. He had a hat that looked like Shotgun Red's. He was quite a hoot. And that's Carl Perkins. I mean, everybody. Reba McEntire. We dug around trying to find some more of the photos of everybody that came to Country Clips, but it was just really incredible. And here is the promo for that video show as we did it on TNN. Watch this.
Oh, I'm glad you stopped by. Oh, yeah, we're right here each and every Saturday for a full hour of your favorite country videos. We feature top recording artists and newcomers taking you through today's hottest country hits. Join me, Shotgun Red, as we capture your favorite superstars on Country Clips. Thanks.
Country Clips was so popular, Shotgun Red was actually nominated in the top 3 for Country Video Host. The other 2 were Garrison Keillor with a Prairie Home Companion and Downtown Julie Brown. They flew me to California to the awards, and I got to sit in the audience with all those other stars because of that nomination. That was pretty cool. Then they put Shotgun Red and Ralph Emery in a local museum here in Nashville, Tennessee. There is our full-size Shotgun Red character sitting on his Harley Davidson. There's the Shotgun Red Baron that somebody built for us. We thought that was kind of cute. Now I'm going to show you something interesting. That's the day that they had me put my boots in the concrete in the Sidewalk of the Stars here in Nashville, Tennessee. In the background, you see the guy standing there kind of looking down. There's a lady with white hair alongside of him. There's Shotgun Red getting his little boots put in the concrete. Now that young man has walked up and he's standing in the foreground, the guy with the jeans and the white shirt. Now you'll notice everybody in the crowd is not paying any attention to him. In fact, later that night, I went to the Nashville Palace and got Shotgun Red up, and I was doing little Shotgun Red doing some comedy, and you'll notice that same guy is up running sound in the sound booth up there to the right. And there he is sitting in the crowd. Nobody knew him at that time. He was just a local country singer named Randy Ray. There he is in the foreground. Nobody's paying any attention to Randy Ray. They paid attention later when the record deal changed his name to Randy Travis. Isn't that funny? He was in all those pictures and nobody even knew he was a star until he was a star. I just thought that was interesting. And then because Ralph Emery and Shotgun Red sang a lot of songs on Nashville Now, RCA recorded some albums with Shotgun Red and Ralph Emery. In fact, there's Joe Galante and all the staff from RCA. They came to Nashville Now, and look at Shotgun Red signing his contract with his mouth because his penmanship's terrible. And you notice the little nipper dogs? They brought Shotgun Red a little nipper as well. That was pretty cool. But the biggest thing to me is when we went in the studio to record that album, the king of country music, Roy Acuff, came in and sang the Wabash Cannonball on that album. There's Ralph Emery, Shotgun Red, and the king of country music in the studio together. I will always cherish these pictures. I thought I'd share them with you. And boy, with a schedule like that, you got to have your own plane. There I am with my 337 Skymaster. Let's fly into a commercial break, and we'll be right back with more of the history of Shotgun Red right after this. Welcome back to the Shotgun Red Variety Show. There's Pretty Miss Sheila and Little Shotgun Red, and this entire show is dedicated to the history of Shotgun Red. And you know, it wasn't only country music artists we met when we were in Nashville, Tennessee. There's Phyllis Diller when we were out in Las Vegas with Nashville Now. There's, man, the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, Roger Staubach. And, of course, I did a special for a tribute to Minnie Pearl, and there was every star in the business, along with Pee Wee Herman from Hollywood, California. And there I am with Wolfman Jack. I met him at dinner here in Nashville, Tennessee. There's Ed the Ace McCullough, and he is a funny car driver for NHRA. He loved Shotgun Red. And there I am with the world-famous Minnesota Fats Pool Shark. I actually played a game of pool with him, and I will not tell you who won. And while we were in Nashville, Shotgun Red decided he needed to get a haircut. So he went over to this little salon, and there was this pretty blonde gal that gave him a haircut and blow-dried his hair. Her name was Miss Sheila. He made me take him back there every single week, whether he needed a haircut or not, and he fell in love with her, and, of course, now we're a big, happy family. And, of course, even Santa Claus stopped in to see Shotgun Red. This guy right here, Johnny Rutherford, won the Indianapolis 500 many, many times. What a classic guy. I did a safety video with him for a big corporation. There's Ruth Buzzy sitting on Shotgun Red's lap. Of course, Jerry Blackwell, the professional wrestler, he come by and put a headlock on me. I thought that was pretty cool. There's Garrison Keillor from A Prairie Home Companion. What a big star. This guy right here looks more like John Wayne than John Wayne. It's not him, though. His name was Jerry Thomas. We lost him, but he loved Little Shotgun Red. He was something else. You know, people sent me a lot of stuff. I still have a full warehouse just full of gifts, and I want to thank everybody. Here's a picture that a guy sent me that was a hand-painted portrait valued at about $7,000 or $8,000 of Shotgun Red. It still hangs in our home. Now, the guy on the right is Richard Burrell from Grand Cayman Islands when Nashville Now broadcast down there for a week. He did a black coral, and black coral takes thousands of years to grow, a black coral Muhammad Ali boxer for Muhammad Ali. He also did a portrait kind of a thing, a special black coral thing for the Pope. And I thought that was amazing. But what was really amazing, one day he fell in love with Shotgun Red. He flew to Nashville, Tennessee, and here he is on Country Clips. But it was actually on Nashville Now that he awarded Shotgun Red a little, about a foot-tall, stand-up black coral Shotgun Red made of black coral and 24-karat gold. And he just gave it to him. So I've been very lucky. People have been giving me stuff. Here's something near and dear to my heart. When I was a little boy, about 10 years old, I used to sell Grit magazine. And I sold it for 15 cents. I remember, because I kept a nickel and I had to give a dime to Grit Magazine Company. Years and years later, somebody sent me this, and it's Ralph Emery and Shotgun Red on the cover of Grit Magazine. Believe it or not, that's a big deal to me. I don't know why, but we ended up on the magazine that I sold when I was a little kid. And of course, we had to come out with the Shotgun Red doll. And man, we sold just literally thousands of them. You can still get them at shotgunred.com. And when they first came in, you can see that little container there. When they first came in, guess who was first in line to get an autographed Shotgun Red doll? The king of country music, Roy Acuff. I'm going to show you a video now of Loretta Lynn and Conway on Nashville when she received her Shotgun Red doll.
Loretta?
Well, I like mine.
All right. Do you collect dolls?
Yes, I do.
You have a teddy bear?
Do you collect all kinds of them and everything? like even live ones?
Yes, yes.
Do you take them home and everything? Excuse me, Ralph. Do you take them home and everything?
What are you doing, Red?
Sorry, Ralph. Sorry. My heart's going boomity, boomity, boomity.
Oh, boy. And here's Conway Twitty. He's clearing his throat. He's getting ready to do an impression of Shotgun Red. He just did it on his own. I'm going to show you the video. Watch this.
Want to see me do Red?
Yes.
Okay. Watch Red.
See, he did it, Ralph. He did it.
I love it.
Friendship, friendship, just a perfect little friendship. When other friendships go up in smoke, ours will still be oak. Ours will still be great. Ours will still be hot.
Yeah.
Well, it all started from a little $40 puppet up in Minnesota named Shotgun Red. Took us to Nashville, Tennessee to work with all the biggest stars in the music business. Well, everything has to come to an end, and the last show of Nashville Now was taped in San Antonio, Texas at Fiesta, Texas. Backstage, who was one of the guests? That's right, I got to meet the President of the United States. Shotgun Red, a $40 puppet I bought in Brainerd, took me all the way to a handshake with the President of the United States. And on that final night, something really special happened with Ralph and Red. Watch this closing video.
Everybody stop the music. Hold on a second. I got to say something.
I've been under your desk for 10 years, and you...
I never thought I'd see this.
I just want to say one thing. You have got to change these socks. You have got to change these socks.
That's the remarkable Steve Hall, who can lie on his back, hold his arm in the air, and be funny at the same time. That's pretty good.
And about the time you think Shotgun Red's career is over, Patrick Gotch called us from RFD TV and said, how would Shotgun Red like to have his own variety show? So we're back on the air. Wow. Oh, I almost forgot. I got to tell you about this, too.
4, 3, 2, 1, blast off.
You know, I had a lot of fun with Ralph Emery on Nashville Now for many, many years, doing all these comedy bits. So we put them together in a DVD and made it available to you. It's called The Best of Ralph and Red, 10 Years of Comedy Bits. Watch this.
If you know so much about trucks, why is John Lowry driving?
Because I have to ride shotgun.
Now, it's a lot of fun. You can order the DVD by going to www.shotgunred.com. Or if you don't have a computer, just call us at 1-800-822-8522. You're going to see a lot of comedy bits, and you're going to see a lot of stars.
Come driving in here in a tank, an army tank, a great big army tank, and you ask me what's going on?
Just a second, Ralph. Now, this is not a good time to pick an argument with me.
I would guess not.
Stop it, Ralph, stop it.
Ralph had so much fun with Red on the show.
Go right now, stop it, Ralph.
What's so funny?
It's a yoke, Ralph. Don't you get it? It's a yoke.
Who is this?
I'm Shotgun Red. I'm Shotgun Red.
Little Jimmy Dickens.
Because the bathing suits are getting skimpier and skimpier and skimpier.
Yeah, summers are getting funner and funner and funner.
And funner and funner.
Some of us got it and some of us don't.
Then Shotgun Red did a Christmas video. It is really cool.
Shotgun Red's Christmas Surprise, starring Shotgun Red, with special guest Bobby Bear, Little Jimmy Dickens, Tom T. Hall, The Riders in the Sky, and Steve Warner, plus many, many more.
A lot of stars are on this show, even in that crowd right there. It's all available on Shotgun Red's Christmas Surprise DVD, which is also available at our website and the 1-800 number. Those are a couple of DVDs that you can get that really kind of feature Shotgun Red, and that's what we've been doing this entire show. And I really hope that you've enjoyed the history of Shotgun Red, because we've enjoyed bringing it to you this entire show, kind of digging in our scrapbook, so to speak.